Welcome to part 4 of the Videohub interface through the Grass Valley switcher panel. I've gone back to the W51 board here because I've had a few people ask me how much difference there was in just normal operation. As I've explained before, the initial download from the Videohub to the panel is slower than using the W52 board or the W55 board. So I'm just going to show you this next tutorial. Just showing you it's running on a W5100, and you won't find any difference once the data's been loaded to the panel. Everything else is exactly the same speed. So it's up to you whether you want to use a more expensive board just to get that download happening faster. So this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up and use the preview row. And that green LED is really bright, isn't it? Just see if it's the same as the other one. No, they're all the same. Okay. So we're going to use the preview bus here to switch a Videohub. And it can be any Videohub, whatever's got connected, as I've explained in previous videos. But I've just still got it hooked up to the broadcast Videohub. And if anybody's interested, I could do a video on using the TVS and a Videohub, which is built into that one. But just for the sake of this, we just keep using the same as what I have been using. So basically what this function does is it allows you to assign a particular Videohub destination to switch to follow the preview bus. Now the preview bus has got 20 inputs, which is 10 normal, 10 shifted, using the shift button. And you can assign any Videohub source to any of the 10 unshifted and 10 shifted buttons, so that's 20. So you can assign 20. Now you can also, as per previous, you can also just assign any ATEM crosspoint to the 20 buttons as well, which is rather superfluous if you're running just a TVS, because this tends to have just as many inputs as what the TVS has. But if you're running a 2ME like I am up here, you'll find that you will need to assign your button. Let me bring out full screen. There you go, there's the 2ME. So I'm going to start off with actually showing you the end result, so that you'll know what we're aiming at here. The main purpose of this is to allow you to have a dedicated Videohub destination dedicated to whatever you have selected on the preview bus. This can have benefits for some big jobs, but if you're running a TVS which doesn't have its own dedicated preview bus output, other than what you can see on the multi-view, this is the ideal solution for that. And you can then set up your own specialised monitor just to look at the preview bus, of which I have. That's what I have in my TVS. I've got, as I said, I've got a Videohub built into that. It's actually up inside the roof there of this. I might get up and show you inside the case. See, this is my road case with a wrong one. This one down here. This is the road case, the TVS. It's also got a camera converter, and it's got a delay unit, which gives me, which I can delay the audios. I also run Declic multi-bridges in all my boxes to give me digital analog and analog to digital. Also gives me the ability to inject analog sound, because most of my jobs I'm using analog sound desks, and I need to be able to get audio follow video out of the TVS into the sound desk and then inject it back into the main program output. Now in this case, up in the top, as I said, up under the roof there, is a Videohub exactly the same as that, and it then gives me the ability to be able to route everything around here and out to the other cases. So I've just totally gone off the rails here. Let's just get back to what we're talking about. So that's why I wanted to have the ability to have a dedicated preview monitor feed to follow the preview bus of the switcher. So and the other thing too is that this particular preview bus, as you can see, if I show you the TV, the ATEM, you can see as I'm switching the panel, you can hear me in the background switching the panel. It's switching the preview bus, and of course if I go and with my other hand, while you're not seeing, I'm going to be switching the preview bus, which I'm doing now up here. You can see with my mouse, with my trusty mouse, I'm just switching it, and of course the GVG panel is reading the status always of the ATM, so it's showing you the control. Now this particular function where it will control a output of the Videohub or destination of the Videohub not only follows the buttons you push on the panel, it'll actually follow even if you're using another panel, including the software panel. So it's actually not following what you push here, it's following what's being pushed on the ATEM, so it can work on any device that's controlling the preview bus. I'll show you that in a moment. So the first thing we're going to do, first of all I'll explain, I've actually going to set this up to control a broadcast video hub, and I'm going to go out on output 121, which is my desk. There's my desk there. It's 121, and that's the monitor that's actually sitting across 121. It's a bit sharp on that when I hit the focus button. Now that monitor is actually being fed by a, you probably can't see it, but way in the background there's a little HD Link Pro, which is feeding that monitor from the HD SDI out of the router. Now those HD Link Pros and the monitor have a little bit of a problem when you switch between non-synchronous sources. They go to black for a moment. But I have other devices like those cheap Chinese HD SDI to HDMI converters. They kind of switch real quick, or they allow the monitor to recover real quick. But you'll see that when we get to that. You'll see there's a slight latency in getting pictures back. But that's just my setup. So the first thing I just want to show you is that as I'm switching here, nothing is happening on the Videohub because I've got it disabled. And the way you disable it is that you can do that. You do that on the Telnet connection. Over here, I have a Telnet window, which I might drag over here so I can show you a bit better. And if I go and have a look at the, let's get rid of some of these backgrounds so I can just get a black. There we go. Black. Okay, so it's not going to glare out the poor old iPhone. Oh, okay. So if I just ask to show the status, the status is now showing me what you normally see, but there's now an added thing down here. You'll see it says Preview Row Video Hub. Preview Row Video Hub equals off because I haven't got anything selected to control the video hub from the preview bus. But that's what we're going to do now. We're going to use the Telnet to do that, and the way we do that is we use the capital P letter. If we just go and do help, where's help? Just help, question mark is help. You'll see down here on the P, I mentioned this in one of the last videos, is set the video hub destination for the follow. So we just got to type in capital P and then the destination that we want on the video hub. Now, as I said before, my destination is going to be 121. Baz's desk, 121. So I'm just going to go down here. I'm going to type in on my keyboard, I'm going to type in P. Oh, here we go, P. And then 121. And now it says the preview on preview row video hub equals destination 121. This is my disk. So that's now set. So now every time I change the preview row, I'm going to come out of that. Oh, wrong button. There we go. So every time I change the preview row, you'll see it's actually changing. Come up here. There's 121. There it is. You see it's actually changing to specific inputs. Now these specific inputs are inputs that I have pre-programmed, which I'm going to go and show you in a moment. So every time I push a preview button, not only does it switch the preview on the ATEM, it's actually also switching to a pre-allocated input on the defined destination that I just made down here, being 121. So I can make that any destination that the Videohub can have, and I can then allocate any source that the Videohub can have. To be able to set the 20 sources for the preview bus, we're going to use Shift and 7. But these sources I'm setting on in this function are actually Videohub sources as different to ATEM sources. So normally if you press Shift 7, you're able to set the ATEM cross points for the program preview rows. But here we're going to use Shift 7, but we're going to hold on to the Shift button while for an extra second, which will take us into the setting up the preview row sources from the Videohub. And just something else I've added since I last showed you. I've got this now where I've shown you how if you hold your finger on the Shift button and press your required button and keep your finger on the Shift button, I now have it so that if you do that and want to keep holding down on the Shift button, you never really know how long you've held it down for. But here I've made it so if I press 7, which I'm about to do, you'll notice that it'll flash slowly, and then if I keep my finger on the Shift button, it then starts flashing fast. Oh, maybe I lied. You just come out of there. That's why it's not working. I'm on the wrong button here. You see what happens if you're not on colour 1, 2? So Shift, we'll hold the finger on the Shift button or press the Shift button. See it's flashing slow, and then without doing it starts flashing fast. That means your finger's been on the Shift button long enough to go into the second mode, if I can use that term, and that second mode is now just programming the preview buttons for the Videohub sources. So the first thing that happens is all the lights go off, as you see. The display blanks, I'm just quickly going to go through this because this is all covered before in how to do the Videohub cross points for the key bus in the previous video. So, and then we just go and we just select whatever button we want to program, and as we select the button, it'll show you whatever sources you have allocated to each of those 20 preview buttons. So you can see here button 10 has got source 10, button 1's got source 61, source 62, these 61, 62, 63 and 64 on my router. Actually 4 digital set-top boxes with 4 different channels on it, which I'll show you that working in a moment, as I showed you earlier. So you can then use the up and down buttons as we did before. Let's just go to say button 9. I can just change that to whatever I want, and so that's going to be 17. Whatever's on the router 17 is what will be cut when button 9 is pressed on preview. So you can either change. You can also press the which is the hour, the frames hundreds button. You can also press that, and as you're pressing that, it's actually go through. When it flashes, it indicates it's 11 to 20 buttons. and when it's not flashing. So we're going to the top there now, so I can go back. So I'm just going backwards. So that's the 20. Or you can just hit the button here, or hit shift. Hit the shift button, and then the button will give you the 11 to 20. And then, so once you've allocated those, you can then just hit abort, and then everything goes back to normal. And the telnet will then show you the allocations for the 20 buttons, and as explained before, you've got the unshifted and the shifted, and these are the Videohub source names allocated to these preview buttons. And it also shows you at the top here what you have allocated up there somewhere, up there. It tells you what you have allocated as your destination for the preview bus cutting. And the other thing you can do too is that you can actually change that same, you can do that same change on the telnet as previously done. So, and that code is little p, so I can go P17, so P button 17 space, and let's call it 6, which will be input 6. And if you have a look at 17, you can see now it's 17 is now button 6. So again, you can either use the telnet to configure the preview bus Videohub allocations, or you can do it directly on the panel. That's it for part 4 of this video. In a week or so, I'm going to show you a supplement part, which hopefully I'll get the software written where we will be showing you how I can change Videohub sources while the panel is still active controlling the ATEM. We're going to do that using the miscellaneous cross points up here. I haven't written that software yet, but I've conceptualized it. I've just got to find the time. Thank you for your attendance, and farewell from Aussie land.